sampurita pamita paramita balena vidvansiyo kila kilesa samula jalam tene valanda araham arahoti namang vandami buddha mamalam hadaye tapentva samanta cakkavalesu atra gacchantu devata Sandhammang munirajassa sunantu sagga mokkadam Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Namo tansa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tansa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tansa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the perfectly enlightened one. Sile patentaya naro sapanyo cittang panyanca bhavayam atapi nipako bhikku so iman vijataye jatang. Dear friends in Dhamma, in this moment we are going to a very special discourse in Buddhism named Jata Sutta. Okay? Jata Sutta comes in Buddhist books in Sutta Pitaka. There are 3 baskets according to Buddhism. All Buddhist messages comes in 3 baskets. Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka and Abhidhamma Pitaka. This discourse, Jata Sutta, comes in Sutta Pitaka, the basket of Sutta. And Jata Sutta comes in Sutta Pitaka in Samyutta Nikaya. There are 5 Nikayas, 5 special categories in Sutta Pitaka. In Sutta Pitaka, one of them is Samyutta Nikaya. This Jata Sutta comes in Samyutta Nikaya. Okay? When we study this Jata Sutta, we learn, we can understand the entire Buddha's message. That is very useful that we are going to understand what Buddha taught. One day, a person, a Brahmin, came to Buddha and he asked a question. When Buddha was in Savatthi in a city, big city, when Buddha was there, one of Brahmans means the higher rank person in India. Among their caste, they are higher persons. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. There are 4 castes. There were 4 castes in Buddha's period when Buddha was living. One of them is Brahman. Brahman who teach other people and who are the very honorable persons in that society. Jata is the name of that Brahman. After he came to Buddha, he asked a question. What is that? Anto jata bahi jata jataya jatita paja santang gotama pucchami ko imang vijate jatam. A tangle inside, a tangle outside. This generation is entangled in a tangle. I ask you this, O Gautama, who can disentangle this tangle? Generation has problem. Every person has problem within and outside. When they live alone, they have some problems inside mentally. When they go to the society, they face some problems when we do some activities with the people. He asked, Bhante, what is the reason of this problem and how do they overcome this problem? That is his question. Then, as the answer of his question, Buddha explained 3 verses. One of them is, Sīle patiṭṭhāya narosapañño cittaṃ paññañca bhavayam ātāpi nipako bhikkhu soyamang vijate jatam. A man established in virtue, discerning, developing discernment and mind, a monk, ardent, astute, he can entangle this tangle. If a person is wise and also he is clever, if he has enough courage, and if he practices 3 disciplines, which they are virtue, concentration and wisdom, that person can overcome this problem. This is the answer that Buddha has given at the moment for that Brahman. Okay? Here it is said as a monk, but not only a monk, but every person who are in the society. First of all, they should be clever, they should be intelligent, and also they should be courageous persons. They have enough courage, not only intelligent. You know, there are some intelligent persons in the society, but they have no enough courage to go forward with practicing this message. On the other hand, they should have correct knowledge about the path, what they practice. Without knowledge, although persons go to practice it, they have nothing to practice. For example, even though you have a vehicle or car, if you go to the road without where you are going to, you have no real vision where you are going to. Even though you have courage, you have no place to go. Therefore, first of all, we should have correct vision where we are going to, what we practice. From the beginning to end, about the path, we should have clear knowledge. That is why we should be intelligent with the knowledge of path. Okay, this is the very first stanza or verse that Buddha has explained that person. Okay, Jata Sutta. When we discuss Jata Sutta, we can understand the path that Buddha explained. Jata has several meanings. One of them is the name of that person, Jata. The other thing is, Jata means the hat that we wear. It is also Jata. In Buddha's time, there were some persons as Jatila. Jatila means they wore a cap, like used in very long cloth. You know the Sikh persons? Sikh, Indian,
yes.
Punjab people. Have you seen? They are, yes, like that. That is Jata. And also the other meaning is a tangle. Tangle. That is also Jata. That is why it is very close to this sutta and this meaning that is used. Actually, Jata Sutta comes in both places in Tripitaka. In Samyutta Nikaya, both places we can see this same sutta. One of them is the Devata Samyutta, that it comes in Devata Samyutta, which is asked by a guardian deity person, divine person. This sutta is asked by a Brahman. But Jata means that one of them is the name of that person, Brahman's name. Other name is that the hat that we use, and also a tangle. Those are the means. Okay. In Jata Sutta, as I mentioned before, there is a very famous book in Buddhism, Visuddhimagga, which describes the entire path of liberation, written by Reverend Buddhaghosa, is also Visuddhimagga. The main discourse that he used to write that book is discourse of Jata. Using this Jata Sutta, Reverend Buddhaghosa wrote a very big book that is very famous in Theravada countries, especially in Burma. They use this book as a meditation guidance. From the beginning to end, it describes entire path for the Nibbana. Okay? In this sutta, when we are going to understand, we can describe several important information that, especially why we are suffering, why we have problems in this society. What are the reasons that we suffer, that we face to problems? What is your idea?
Dissatisfaction.
Yes. Why we are unsatisfied, dissatisfied?
Because we crave or we desire things.
Yes, very good.
Anger.
Yes, very good. All defilements that disturb our peace of mind can be included into three. They are anger or ill will, desire or craving, delusion or ignorance. These are the main defilements which are the reasons of our all problems in the society. As much as we can reduce these defilements, negative emotions, we are clever to overcome suffering, problems. That is why Buddha always has explained to overcome these negative emotions which disturb our peace of mind. Anywhere, if we have some problems, it means we have these kind of defilements, negative emotions. They are anger, craving or desire, and delusion. Buddha has explained anger. Anger is, in Buddha's language, in Pali it says as dosa. Dosa. In Sanskrit it says as dvesha. In English we use for English words anger or ill will. Anger means if we meet some objects through our senses, if our mind is attracting with those objects, this is anger. Buddha says anger is kippa viraga mahasavadya. Kippa viraga means it is very easy to reduce. It is very easy to overcome, but the result is very high. Result is very high. The second one, craving or desire, is Danda Viragai Alpasavadhyai. Danda Viraga means it is very difficult to overcome, but results are not high. Results are not high. But desire is, it is difficult to overcome. How about delusion? It is Danda Viragai Mahasavajya. Danda Viraga means it is extremely difficult to overcome or reduce. And also its result also very high. Very dangerous. Can you remember? Can you say it again? How about anger?
It's easy to overcome.
Easy to overcome. And how about results?
And the results are not...
Results are?
the results
very huge.
Are very big, yeah.
Very big, high. How about craving?
Craving is difficult to overcome, and the results are not...
Difficult to overcome.
Very good.
And also?
The results are not very...
Results are not very huge or high. How about delusion? Mahasavadya Danda Viraga. The results are very huge or high, and also it is extremely difficult to overcome. Among these three things, when Buddha was living, most of people had understood about anger and craving. And by practicing meditation, they had reduced anger and craving in the very high level. But they didn't understand about delusion. By practicing meditation, by practicing, loving kindness, breathing meditation, using many meditation techniques, they had reduced anger and craving in the maximum level. But unfortunately, they didn't know what is the nature of delusion or how they overcome delusion or ignorance. Buddhas appeared in the world how to overcome delusion. That is very important thing. If somebody can reduce delusion, automatically craving and anger are going down. But although we reduce anger or craving, delusion doesn't go away. Delusion remains still. But this is like the main switch. If we can reduce, if we can put off main switch or trip switch, then automatically other things put off. You don't need to put off the switch of fridge, heater, any other things. If you can put off the main switch, this is like the main switch. And first of all, actually at the very beginning of the path of liberation, Buddha has recommended how to overcome anger in the first level. That is why Buddha has explained the importance of practicing loving kindness by using many discourses such as Metta Sutta. And it always disturbs our peace of mind. Especially, the scientists, sociologists and psychologists, they always recommend the importance of practicing loving kindness to reduce stress. Last 5 or 6 decades, all psychologists have recommended to practice loving kindness to reduce stress. As a technique of reducing stress, as the technique of stress management, they recommend to practice loving kindness to reduce anger. The reason is we mostly suffer because of anger. Buddha also has recommended day by day, every moment try to practice loving kindness. How we practice it? May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. We have to practice it in 3 levels. Mentally, verbally and physically. Not only mentally. Here we practice loving kindness meditation mentally. It is not enough. When you go out, when we are going away, if you see something near the gate, which causes to some risk or some negative things, then you have to put it away. Not only thinking, may all beings be well and happy, but when you see something on the road which disturb others, you are ready to put it away, physically. When you talk something with somebody about other people, we always use kind words. Verbally we practice loving kindness. In these 3 ways we have to practice loving kindness to overcome anger. Mentally, verbally and physically. Metta sahagata manokamma, the actions mentally with loving kindness. Metta sahagata vachi kamma, the actions verbally with loving kindness. Metta sahagata kaya kamma, the actions physically with loving kindness. We should practice loving kindness to reduce anger in these 3 ways to succeed our life. But although we practice loving kindness completely, we can reduce anger or delusion. We have to come to next level to how we reduce delusion. How we practice craving. How we reduce craving.
Meditation?
Yes, by meditation or in many ways. Like, when we practice generosity, when we offer something to others, it is also one of the ways how we reduce craving or lust or desire. If you are ready to offer something to others always, it is very useful to reduce desire or big attachment. That is why, in this path, in very first level, we practice dana, one of the meritorious deeds. Dana, sila, bhavana. First thing is dana, generosity. Okay? Mr. David also always practices it. He brings something. Actually, not only bringing something to here, but if you have your parents, you can offer something to them. If you meet some people as homeless people, you can offer something to them. If you feed some animals, pets at home, you can feed them kindly. That is also ways how we practice generosity. In Asian countries, they are always ready to offer others. But in this society, sometimes it is difficult because we can't offer some food. People are afraid of offering some food because some people can sue you if they have problems. But in our society, it is a common thing. Some people don't eat without offering to others. After they cook something, they are waiting for somebody. And especially in some poor days, full moon days, people offer everything, food, flowers, many things they are ready to offer. Especially in Buddha's birthday in May month, Vesak full moon day, Vesak day, they offer everywhere in Buddhist countries. They offer food, many things to beggars, to other people, monks, for monks. They do a lot of things. Okay? And finally, we should know about delusion and how to reduce delusion.
Knowledge of the karmic law and knowledge of the
Yes, very good, very good. In first level, we reduce delusion with the knowledge of karmic law. If we are here because of our previous karmic result, and if we do something with pure mind, we will have the good results. If we do something with wicked mind, we will have the negative results, bad results. If we have this knowledge, we always try to keep our mind away from negative emotions, such as anger, delusion, jealousy, ill will. Those are the things which disturb our peace of mind. But it is not enough that we use to reduce our delusion. That we should have knowledge, higher knowledge about the dependent origination or impermanence. What is the nature of our life? What happens to our life really? Then we get all experience through our senses. Through our eyes, through our nose, through our ears. Those are the organs or senses which we get experience. Then when we have some kind of experience through our senses, that experience arises at the moment. That experience doesn't come from the past. That experience, at the present moment experience, doesn't go to future. The experience arises and ceases at the moment according to conditions. If we have this knowledge, as much as we have this knowledge, actually we have nothing to get angry. We have nothing to get something as big attachment or craving or lust. As much as we have this knowledge about how to reduce delusion with the knowledge of dependent origination, then anger and craving or lust gradually going away.
They call it Paticca, right?
Yes, Paticca means that arising and ceasing, the theory of arising and ceasing. It is not the role of the Buddha. Actually, it is the nature of the world. We respect Buddha because of his knowledge, his understanding, his kind interpretation. Buddha says very clearly, whether a Buddha appears or not in the world, this truth is forever. This truth is forever. And this is the nature of our life, that what happens to our life. Then that is why Buddha explained in this discourse that, first of all, we should be intelligent with the knowledge of this process. And also, this is the process, and also, he has explained the path that we practice to overcome these defilements for the reducing the tangles or problems or difficulties which we face in our day-to-day life. And we should reduce anger, craving and desire. First of all, we should have knowledge about this situation, and also not only knowledge this situation, but we should have a knowledge what is the way, what is the path that we should go reducing these three defilements. That is the path Buddha has explained in this discourse, that Sile Patittaya Narosapanyo. First thing is Sila. Okay? Sila means virtue. With the knowledge of dependent origination or impermanence, first of all, we should have good discipline in our speech and behavior. It says in Buddhism, in Pali language, as Sila. Sila means good discipline, moral discipline. We completely control our speech and behavior. It doesn't sound we don't do anything. Actually, we are so active. But when we do something, we think, we reflect on it again and again, whether it is good or bad, whether it is wholesome or unwholesome, whether it is useful or useless to others. Sometimes we are so active. Sometimes we are sleeping. Even though we are sleeping, we are so active. The reason is we use mindfulness. We practice mindfulness. Even in the sleeping, we are practicing mindfulness and wisdom. Therefore, we are so active. On the other hand, when we do our daily actions, when we study, when we do our jobs, we always thinking about this situation. And also we do everything with good discipline and with mindfulness. If we do something with mindfulness, it means we have no mistakes. On the other hand, it means we generate our positive thoughts, wholesome emotions. Then we have no mistakes. Gradually, we are reaching the final destination, which is enlightenment or Nibbana. Buddha didn't tell to reject everything suddenly. Actually, while we are fulfilling our duties for our parents, for our children, for our husbands or wives, while practicing those duties in our day-to-day life, gradually we are going on the path of liberation. That is the very important thing. That is why everybody can practice this message. Even lay people, they also can practice this message while they are feeding growing their children. And also, if somebody is so intelligent and he is very clever to overcome other things in their lay house, they can become as a monk. They can become the monkhood and they can practice this message, dedicating their entire life. That is very good. But it doesn't sound that other people can practice it. Even you also can practice while you are living at home with your family members, doing your job. Everybody can practice as their courage, as their intelligence. Sila is the very first thing that discipline in our speech and behavior. You know, some people practice Sila as the final destination, but it is not the real understanding. You know, it's only the primary level start. Only primary level starting. One of the level, not only final destination. We practice Sila or virtue for the benefits of practicing the second step, that concentration or tranquility.
Samadhi. Samadhi.
Yes, samadhi. Samadhi. This is Sila. This is first one in Pali language, Sila. The second one is Samadhi. Samadhi means concentration. Concentration or tranquility. Tranquility. Okay. This is the second step, the middle step. That is why Buddha said here, Chittang Pannyancha Bhavayam. Chittang Bhavayam. Chitta means samadhi. Pannyancha means wisdom or panya. The third one, panya. Panya means wisdom. These are the three steps that we should practice to overcome tangles, problems, difficulties lamentations in our life. What is the meaning of practicing samadhi? Samadhi means focusing our mind on a particular wholesome object, such as breathing meditation, loving kindness meditation. We try to train our mind to keep in a particular object for a long time. The nature of our mind is going here and there. Monkey mind, we say it. Then we can see the world reality when our mind is very complex. When it goes here and there, it is very difficult to focus our mind in a particular object or particular wisdom. That is why before wisdom, while practicing virtue or discipline in our speech and behavior, we trained our mind to keep in a particular object for a long time. As samatha or samadhi. It means any moment, even in the complex situation, we try to keep our mind in the same object, same wholesome object, good object, and meritorious object, and train in our mind. We try to keep our mind in a particular object for a long time. Then with concentrated mind, the concentration also not the destination. It is the middle. We practice samatha, we practice sila for the benefits of samatha. We practice samatha or concentration for the benefits of to practice wisdom or panya. Sila is not the final destination. Samatha also not the final destination. We do everything for the panya or wisdom. It means that we have higher knowledge or intelligence or right understanding what happens to the world. The people in the world, they do a lot of things with ignorance or delusion. According to conventional truth, that before we were born in the world, it was a world. After we will die, the world remains. That is true according to conventional truth. But, with the knowledge of conventional truth, we can't achieve the final destination. We should have higher knowledge about the ultimate truth. What is the nature of the ultimate truth? Before we were born in the world, it was not a world. After we die, world doesn't remain. We create the world when our organs or senses are open. We create the world according to our vision, according to our view, understanding. If I think you are a good person, with that intention, when I look at you, you are my friend. If I have a wrong point of view, then I think you are my enemy. With that intention, when I look at you, you are my enemy. According to our vision, our point of view, we create the world. We are wearing color glasses. When we remove colored glasses, we can see the real world. Yes?
Just a question, like you're saying, and I understand that, like we project what we see, like the idea that somebody might seem like an enemy, but on the other hand, so how do we know what is real about a person? Are they fundamentally just a good person, or are they, like if they're killing people, aren't they maybe a bad person? I mean, how do we?
Yes, that is a good question. Sometimes really they are enemies. Sometimes they are really friends.
Yeah.
Okay? But you know,
Because I had a
yes.
guy pointed a gun at me one time.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, so am I supposed to just say, oh, that's great, no problem?
Yes, that is a very good question. Yes, you know, when we look at something, through eyes, we get only the color. Okay? For example, when we look at this picture, we get only the color through our eyes. When I am going to put my hand here, I can put this color. I meet the wall. But when we look at something, then we bind to it other qualities. For example, when I meet you through my eyes, I get only the shadow, only the color. When we listening about you, I get another experience about you. Because of our ignorance, suddenly we combine all things. When I look at you, suddenly I think you are that person, you have these qualities, you have done these things. I combine all things suddenly. But in one sense, I can get only one experience. Through eyes, I get only color. Through sound, I get only sound. All organs like that. Through my mind, I get some idea about you according to my previous experience and future experience. Then, how do we think about that person? According to conventional truth, that person may be a good or bad person. It is the conventional truth. When we go to the final understanding, actually we see only the material things and mind. When we look at a person, it includes mind and body. The nature of the person is mind and body, but here is only the physical thing. When we look at a living person, he has mind and body. We suddenly combine both of them. And with the knowledge of this experience, sometimes that person should be an enemy. That person sometimes should be maybe a good friend, a friendly person. But we should be intelligent. We should have clear knowledge, understanding about that person. It doesn't sound we go away the reality. Actually, according to world reality, sometimes that person can kill you. He may kill you. Then we should be intelligent. But even though we are killed by him, if we have higher knowledge about this situation, actually, although we are killed, if we have this higher rank knowledge, then we don't go back to the world. We will be not reborn because of this understanding. But even though we have real understanding about that person with ignorance, even though we alive, we live alone without the problems of that person, we are ready to come back. Then Buddha said, even Arahants, when they go in some particular road or path, if that person has some problems from enemies, from robbers, from animals, he should away from that road. Even Arahants. Buddha doesn't say that you are Arahant person, you are enlightened person, go ahead. Don't be afraid. Buddha never says. not only robbers, not only dangerous animals, even you have some kind of bushes in that some street. You don't go that places. You should away from that roads or streets. And as according to conventional truth, we should understand that person, but that emotions arises at the moment. As soon as we look at that person, we have higher knowledge. I understand that person, that situation was not here before I reflect on that person. Sometimes, even though you think that person is a robber, in the past he was a robber, but now he is a very innocent person. Sometimes now he is an arhantas. But we create those emotions according to our experience with the delusion or ignorance. But when we get experience, first we have only the knowledge of color or smell. But secondary, we create, this is a flower. Then with that emotions, with that intention, when we look at here, this is a flower. Actually, this is not a real flower. We have made these things as flowers according to our experience, according to our understanding. We create flowers inside. Outside there are no flowers. Only 4 things. Earth, fire, windy, and water. Everything outside, as physically, there are only these 4 things. Earth, fire, water, windy. We can classify everything according to these 4 things. When we get a person, living person, it has another thing, mind or nama. And when those both things are together, then we create a person. But there are no robbers or friends outside. We create enemies or robbers or friends according to our vision, according to our previous experience. But when an arahanta, enlightened person, when he goes to meet his mother or father, primary level, he has understanding. This is my mom. He is going to fulfill his duties for his mother, preaching Dhamma. But he has higher knowledge. What is that? I am going to meet these 4 things. Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. Patavi, earth, Apo, water, Tejo, fire, and windy, or Vayo. According to conventional truth, we create mothers, fathers, children. Actually, it is true according to conventional truth. When we go to the final truth, we have only these things. Sometimes they may disturb us. We should be intelligent. But it doesn't sound that we make something others as good or bad. There are nothing as good or bad outside. We make good or bad according to our emotions, according to our point of view. Then Buddhism is a very practical teaching. Every moment we should be intelligent. Even arhantas, after they have psychic energy, although they have psychic energy, when they face some animals or some robbers, they go away. Although they can face those difficulties, but they don't face them. Because, they can, other people can disturb them. but they don't give them chance to do some evils. That is why they go away. And when we look at a person, we should have clear understanding by searching their gestures, gestures, body language. Yes, with the using of body language, especially in the Western society, they use the body language. They understand people through the gestures. They can understand the people, but sometimes it is not successful. According to some person's gestures, we can't guess them. We can't understand them. According to Buddhism, there are some persons who have learned, who have understanding about the gestures, body language. If somebody says that if I am here, it is very intelligent, he can use this posture. Actually, if some persons who are very cunning people, after they learn in something, some posture, some body language, they can use them. They can cheat other people. Sometimes there are innocent people. According to body language, we guess some people, they are robbers or they are bad people. Actually, it is not the real definition, real decisions. Okay? Sometimes, yesterday, you offered something here, but this day, you may steal something here. How we decide people? Our mind is so complex. Any time, it can be changed. That is the nature of the human mind. Therefore, we can decide people. But it doesn't sound we should have blind faith. We should be intelligent. We should have clear knowledge about the people, about the environment. But when we are going to the final level, ultimate truth, we understand if we have any experience through our senses. It sounds the five aggregates. Five aggregates means Rupa, matter, Vedana, feelings, Sanya, perception, Sankhara, mental formations, Vijnana, mind or consciousness. Any kind of experience, if we have something about the world, actually this is the thing that we have. Five aggregates. These five aggregates again can be included into two, mind and matter. These four things or two things arises this moment. It doesn't come to the present from the past. It doesn't go to the future from the present. It arises with the conditions at the moment. It ceases suddenly when conditions separate. Then, actually, we practice not only panya, but loving kindness. All of them can be included in this panya, but on the other hand, we practice metta. Metta. These both things are like our both hands. When we have metta, we don't stop in the metta. There are other three qualities, that karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, and upekkha, tranquility. These four things are four sublime statements of Brahma. Metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha. Always by heart we practice these four things. By mind or intelligence or brain we practice panya, wisdom. Both of them should be together. When we meet a person, we should be intelligent. Whether that person good or bad, friend or enemy, we should be intelligent. On the other hand, we are kind. We are ready to help them even though they are our enemies. We are ready to help them. We are ready to overcome them from the negative actions. On the other hand, we are intelligent to understand what is the reality in the world. When we look at you, I have this experience. When I am looking here, then my experience about the wall. What happens to my previous experience? Suddenly it ceases. Then I have another experience. When I think my parents, then I have nothing here. My world, I have only my parents. When I think my vehicle, then my world is the vehicle. When I think my college or university, then my world is there. Then this is the world. Actually, this is the reality. If we have this knowledge with full mindfulness and wisdom, it sounds we have overcome problems, difficulties, suffering, which disturb our peace of mind. Then, I'm not sure whether you get the satisfied answer. Then, okay. We have actually the Buddhism always emphasizes the knowledge of conventional truth and ultimate truth. Both of them are very important. We should be intelligent when we associate people, when we live in the society. Actually, we should be practicable. When here there is problem, actually we don't meditate. First of all, we have to remove that problem. We have to overcome that problem. After that, we should stay and we should sit and meditate. When we have some dust or something here, first of all we clean it. And also, in various ways, we think about the world. It is very practicable, and not it is artificial. And sometimes when Buddha preached, other people, there were many people in the hall. One people who were listening to Buddha understood that person was very hungry. Then Buddha asked his servant disciple, Reverend Ananda, please come here. If there are any food in the Dhanasala, in the dining room, please go and check it, and if there is any food, please give that person. Then first, that innocent person ate something, and later he came back and he listening. Finally, he could attain some kind of step of enlightenment. If that person listening Dhamma hungrily, actually he would not attain enlightenment. That is why Buddha understood that situation. That is why he gave food that person first. On the other hand, there were some innocent people in that some city. Then Buddha was begging food, and sometimes their parents, elder people had some problems, and their children were homeless. They have nobody who helped them. Then Buddha understood that children's mothers and fathers, their parents helped monks before. Now their children have no any help. Therefore, Buddha decided to get their children, and finally Buddha got them as the manhood. the order of monks, and they became the monks. Their children became the monks. Actually, they became the monkhood because of hunger. But later Buddha understood that children were very lucky and they are fortunate children, even though they are very innocent or poor people. But finally, they also practiced Buddhism. And finally, they also could attain some kind of steps of enlightenment. Then because those children's parents helped Buddha and his disciples, Buddha decided to help them again as gratitude. Then actually there are a lot of stories, a lot of things. On the other hand, Reverend Angulimala, Angulimala killed, as a lay person, he killed hundreds of people. For a special thing, I think you have heard about Angulimala? Yes. Angulimala was misguided by his teacher. Therefore, actually he was an innocent person. But however, later he became a murderer. And he killed hundreds of people. Even the king, Kosala king, decided to catch that person and kill him. Before King Kosala went to meet Angulimala, Buddha went to Angulimala and Buddha corrected that person, and finally he became a monk. And later he could attain enlightenment. And actually people have some misbehavior, but if we can change their vision, we can correct them. Because of kindness, we can correct some people. Buddha also has done those things. And in, there are no permanent enemies or friends in the world. Friendship for other things can be changed anytime.
Why did Buddha wait so long to intervene with Angulimala? Like, why did he wait for him to kill so many people?
Yes. Actually, Buddha had not only compassion or loving kindness, but he had intelligence. He had wisdom. According to karmic law, sometimes we can stop some situations. Even Buddha had understood. Buddha can't stop those killings. But Buddha went to him finally. When Angulimala was close to kill his own mother, then Buddha went there. Until Angulimala was trying to kill his own mother, Buddha didn't go there. The reason is, if Angulimala killed his own mother, he could never attain enlightenment. He could never attain enlightenment in this life. Later he may attain Nibbana, but this life he would miss this situation. That is why Buddha went. On the other hand, Buddha was intelligent. Sometimes that persons who are killed by Angulimala may have some kind of their previous karmics. Yes, Buddha also so intelligent, and he had more compassion. For example, when a prince of Kosala named I will tell you the name. That prince came to kill Buddha's relatives.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I remember that story.
First time Buddha went to the road. While he was coming to kill Buddha's relatives, on the way under a tree, Buddha was meditating. That prince saw that Buddha and asked, "Why, Bhante, you are here?" Buddha said, "Prince, I am very happy when the wind which comes from my hometown, it's also pleasant for me. That is why I am here." Buddha said, "Windy, windy? Wind which comes from my hometown is also very pleasant for me. That is why I am here." That prince was very intelligent. He understood Buddha didn't like which I am going to do. He didn't go this time. He went back. The second time also he decided to go and kill those persons. What Buddha did? Second time also Buddha was under the tree doing meditation. Second time also he asked the same question. Buddha did the same answer. And next time again he decided to come to kill them. That time also Buddha was there. He didn't go that time. How about fourth time? In the fourth time, Buddha understood. He realized, what is the reason? Again, Vidudaba, that person's name is Vidudaba, Prince Vidudaba. Prince Vidudaba, why this Prince Vidudaba again and again comes to kill my generation, my relatives? Then Buddha understood. Buddha can't stop this situation because they have done the same thing in previous lives. Now they are close to get the results. Even Buddha, although Buddha was the relative of those relatives, even Buddha couldn't stop that situation. In fourth time, Buddha didn't go to stop it. Then that Prince Vidudaba went to Kapilavattu and killed hundreds of people who were Buddha's relatives. In one side, Buddha is intelligent. On the other side, Buddha is kind. He had both qualities, not only intelligent, but also kind. On the other hand, he was not only kind, but he was intelligent. He always compared both qualities. And according to your question, Buddha had understood those persons who were killed by Angulimala have done some kind of evils in their previous lives. Even Buddha also can stop it. That is why, that may be why Buddha didn't go before, killing many people. Okay? Even Buddha can control some things in the world. Even though he had a lot of psychic energy, he couldn't preach everybody in the world. Sometimes even some neighbors near the Jata where Buddha lived, some people some people were not ready to listen what Buddha told. Even who are the neighbors. Actually, sometimes Buddha didn't effort to do it because he was intelligent. Who could understand this knowledge, this path, or sometimes even Buddha can't control it. That is the situation. Okay, your question is good. Actually, not only you, but many people ask the same question. Then, however, we were discussing about the Jata Sutta. According to Jata Sutta, Buddha has explained the path that leads to get rid of suffering and achieve the final bliss of liberation, enlightenment, Nibbana. Here, by the practicing of this path, finally we have 5 qualities. According to Pali language, Pancha Indriya Dharma, Saddha, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Here also some things are there. Saddha means confidence or devotion. Virya means effort or dedication. Sati means mindfulness. Samadhi means mindfulness. Samadhi means concentration and Panya means wisdom. Finally, ultimately we should have only two. What is that?
Wisdom.
Mindfulness or wisdom, okay. Wisdom and mindfulness and wisdom. Mindfulness is like our GPA. As usual, I always mention you. Mindfulness is like our GPA. Always we should try to increase the duration of mindfulness that we live with. That is one of our successes in our life. Duration of mindfulness that we live. That is our real GPA. Grade point average. There is another thing in Buddhism, IQ also. Intelligent quotients. What is the intelligent quotients that Buddhism has recommended? Intelligence or wisdom, the knowledge of dependent origination, the knowledge of impermanence. In one side we should be intelligent, on the other hand we should be mindful. In one side we should practice mindfulness. Whatever we do physically, mentally or verbally, we should do everything with mindfulness. That is the increasing of our duration of GPA, Buddhist GPA, grade point average. On the other hand, with the mindful mind, we should try to reflect on dependent origination of impermanence, arising and ceasing. That is the Buddhist IQ, intelligence quotient. That is the real success of our life. The reason is, this is the real path which gives us real happiness, overcoming suffering, overcoming all kind of difficulties, sufferings, lamentations and tangles in our life. This is the way how to get rid of difficulties, problems in our life. Okay? Day by day we should go forward with the knowledge of this path, practicing sila or virtue, practicing samatha, concentration or tranquility, practicing panya, wisdom or intelligence. This is the summary of the discourse of Jata that we describe at the moment. And finally Buddha says, if somebody has no attachment about nama and rupa, namancha rupancha, if we have overcome the attachment of nama and rupa, nama means mind, rupa means form, mind and matter, it means when we look at a person, as soon as we meet a person, if we have knowledge this person is the including of mind and body, then we have no big attachment that person. Then even myself, even my body or mind, I have no big attachment. If we have this full understanding, we have overcome anger, desire and delusion. We live in the society actively. We are so active. We are not lazy. Actually, as the active persons, we live in the society seeing the world reality. It doesn't sound we don't fulfill our day-to-day duties and activities. We do everything, but we do everything with mindfulness and wisdom. Okay? After the explanation of this sutta, that Brahmana, Jata Brahmana was so happy. He appreciated Buddha's sermon, and finally he also attained a monk, and he became a monk, and finally he also attained the enlightenment. This is the Sutta discourse that we discuss, Jata Sutta, which comes in Samyutta Nikaya. If you have any question, you can ask. I think you asked some questions while we were talking. And okay, you can read this paper again and you can get some idea. Actually, when we do any sermon in this class or anywhere, if we listen in the Buddha's real message, it should be same. Buddha said one day, whatever I preached in the past, whatever I preach in the present, only both things that I preach. The suffering and the cessation of suffering. I preach to the world only two things, the nature of suffering and how to overcome suffering. This is the reason, the nature of the suffering. These are the reasons why we suffer. This is the path how we overcome suffering or problems. These both things he has explained in various ways, using many ways, many systems. He has explained these things according to audience. He has used several techniques according to the audience. If sometimes audience has no more intelligent, Buddha had explained much advices because the audience is not more intelligent. Then sometimes if audience is very intelligent, Buddha has explained his teachings very shortly, in short form, because the audience was intelligent. Okay, thank you for your coming. Today I discussed a very important topic, that Jata Sutta, which comes in Samyutta Nikaya. You can read this paper again and you can improve knowledge. And day by day, let's try to practice this message because our life goes fast. We are reaching to death very soon, and our time, our life is very valuable. Try to get the result from this message and increase the value of our life. Okay? Thank you for your coming. Now we are going to transfer these merits that we accumulated listening Buddha's message. We are going to transfer these merits to our departed relatives too. If our departed relatives need some merits from us, may they receiving these merits, may they attain good life, and finally they also attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to our beloved departed relatives too. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these merits, may guardian deities and angels also receive these merits. By receiving these merits, they may enhance their facilities and they also attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to guardian deities and angels too. Ākāsattā ca bummattā devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā ciraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Ākāsattā ca bummattā devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā ciraṃ rakkhantu desanam. Ākāsattā ca bummattā devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā ciraṃ rakkhantu maṃ param. By the power of all these merits, may you also be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no problems come to you. May all of us attain final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. dukkhaṃ pantājca niddukkhaṃ bhayaṃ pantājca nibbhayaṃ සෝකං පන්තාච නිස්සෝකා අන්තෝ සම්බේ පිපානිනෝ දුකින් පෙළෙන සත් දුකින් මිදෙත්වා බියෙන් පෙළෙන සත් බිය නැති වෙත්වා සොමින් තැවෙන සත් සොම්නස් වෙත්වා නිතින් මේ හැම සත් සුවපත් වෙත්වා. May the triple gem bless you. Thank you for your coming.